Hi folks, there's me again. Hey listen, a couple of videos ago I was telling you about the 3 voltages, and I was going to tell you about the 4th voltage. Well, let's recap. You have 3 voltages that you want to be concerned about, and the 4th one that you should be more concerned about. Well, first of all, there's the charging voltage, and there is the standing voltage and load voltage. Now, your load voltage is, whatever load you're on, whatever you got running on your voltage, whatever load you got on it. Standing voltage is when you have nothing on it at all, it's just sitting there. Okay, hopefully fully charged, just sitting there. Charging voltage is what the voltage is when you're charging it. The 4th voltage is your surge voltage. Your surge voltage is this when, okay, say you got a load on there and your voltage drops a little bit from your standing voltage, and then you have something to come on like a refrigerator or air conditioner or something with a motor on it, it's going to drop. Now, the issue is, how far is it going to drop? It's going to drop and recover once the surge is over with. That's fine. But if it drops below your inverter's shutoff limit, your inverter is going to shut off. And your little red light's going to come on, and you're not going to be having any power or anything. And then you're going to come in and you're going to look and say, wow, I still have voltage in there. It's at 12.3. I don't see why it went off. It shouldn't have went off. But that surge was too much for the load and the surge. You see, that surge was too much for your battery, because you already had a load on it, and that brought it down, and then whenever it surged, it brought it down below the inverter power. So you need to think about that. And it makes me cringe every time I see these little so-called solar generators or portable power stations having something like 200 or 300 watt hours. I was like, come on, give me a break. And then they have these 700, 800, 900 watt inverters in them. You're not, if you got a 1,000 watt inverter that can surge up to 2,000 watts, and you only have a 300 amp hour battery, but it's not going to surge up to 2,000 watts. Okay, so here's what you do. You think about the amp hours of the battery. They don't give you that because watt hours is higher than amp hours in numbers. Somebody give you something like, it's got 300 watt hours. Divide that by 12 and you'll see how many amp hours you have. That's all you got to do. Let me see, 1,200 amp hours. That's 100 amp. That's 100 amp hour battery. Okay, divide 12 into. You multiply 12 times 100, you get 1,200. Okay. Same thing. To do it in reverse, you divide 12 into 1,200, you get 100 amp. Okay, now do that with some of these guys that come on here and talking about this thing has 300. Even 500. If it's 500 or 600, if it's 600, you know good and well it ain't nothing but a 50 amp battery. But these things have 200 and 300. That's all they are. If it's 250 watt hours, if it's 250 watt hours, it's something like a 25 amp hour battery. Now, would you run a 1,000 watt inverter on a 22 amp hour battery? Come on now, I'm talking about, something they put in UPS power supplies. It'll only last a little bit, So get off of it, guys. Stop selling these so-called power packs with 22 amp hour, 25 amp hour batteries. I don't care if it's lithium, SLA, sealed lead acid, flooded battery, or lipo, was it lithium or whatever? You know, it makes AGM. It don't make any difference. Amp hours is amp hours. Watt hours is watt hours. It's a measurement, okay? And that's what they're basing everything on, is the measurement, not the content of the battery. That's what you got to go by, the measurement. Okay, if that thing can dish out 10 amps for 1,000 hours, oh, okay, that's going to be a measurement. If it can do it only for 2 hours, that's a measurement. All right, but stop talking about it's got 300 watt hours like it's going to do something. It ain't going to do nothing. What is it at best? 25 amp hours. I mean, that's what you use to charge batteries, right? I mean, you go to the store to buy a charger, you want to know how many amps it is, right? Okay, there you go. Anyway, I could go on and on and on, but I hope you got something out of this. If you got anything out of this, if you learned anything, hey, look, like the video, let me know something. Yeah, I just had to let this off. I just had to let it out. So, okay.